Hello and welcome to Kingston Now. I'm Jimmy Buff. This week we're out and about in Kingston to take a look at a couple new businesses that have opened up. And we're on Wall Street in Uptown Kingston right now at Sissy's Cafe. And with us is Shani and Denee Francese-Smith. Now you guys, I'm guessing, are related.
Yes.
It's sisters, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Hence the name of Sissy's Cafe.
Yeah.
This is a great new business in a location that wasn't originally a cafe. Tell me about the origin of the idea for the business and how you came to pick this location. We'll start with you, Shani.
Well, it used to be an art gallery, and we always wanted to open up a cafe, and so we just always kind of been looking in the past year or so. And when this came up, we know the landlord, he's a friend of ours, and he said, you know, if you want to do something with it, and it had nothing in it. It was all just, you know, we put the kitchen in, it's all electric, and, you know, did the floors in there and got all the equipment. So it was a lot of work. We took down a wall, but yeah, so it just kind of happened, and we're from New Paltz, and we always loved Kingston, so.
And today, had you guys have any experience in running cafes and cooking?
Yeah.
What's your background?
Yeah, we both actually worked at the Rosendale Cafe. We both cooked and waitressed for about 2 years, on and off. I managed a few places, and then she also managed the Last Bite in High Falls. So we have a lot of roots around the community in this line of business, but we never actually owned our own place. But
So what was the process like, Shani, when you said, okay, we've got a location, we know we're going to do this. What did you have to do to get the place open, which is recently? It only opened at the end of June, right?
Yeah. We, you know, there's a lot of things we had to do. We had to try to get some money together. We had a little savings, we had a small loan, and then we were really lucky. We had a lot of help. Like my father's a carpenter, he built this bar. My uncle owns a restaurant supply store, so he, you know, helped us out a lot. You know, we're still paying everyone off, but it was really like helped us. And then, you know, our family and friends were a lot of help too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, you know, getting the menu together, getting everyone together to be on the same page, and yeah.
Well, Denee, there wasn't a kitchen here when it was an art gallery, so you had to put in a full kitchen.
yeah, we had to put in a full kitchen. We had a lot of help. My father's an architectural designer, so he helped with my uncle who owns Mountain Restaurant Supply, and they really worked together to really design like a kitchen that would really work for us. And we laid down the floor. That was a lot of work and things like that, and it just came together so perfectly.
I saw pictures on your Facebook page of the air conditioning unit that was going in.
That was the night before.
That was the night before
we opened, and we realized it was hot. It was one of the hottest nights, and
it was a lot of work.
It's good to have, especially in the midst of summertime, indeed.
Yeah.
What was the reception from the city like? Did you have to get permits to do the building?
Yeah, we had to get building permits, and you know, talk to the health department a couple times, and a lot of different, because we didn't actually change. It's still commercial, so we didn't have to do that much. We thought we might have to because it's food and that was art, but it was commercial, so that was nice. But yeah.
So let's talk about the menu, Denee. How did you're open for breakfast and lunch. How did you come up with the menu? What did you want to be on there for sure?
Our main thing was that we eat a lot of different foods. We're not vegetarian or vegan, however, we like those foods a lot. So we wanted to go make a place where people could come and we could kind of cater to those different dietary needs, and that we would be able to have gluten-free bread and vegan options and vegetarian options. But then we also wanted to cater to old-fashioned meat eaters. Like, that was something we wanted to get a diverse population. And so we just kind of put things that we really like to eat on the menu, and we've gotten great reviews about them so far.
Yeah, fresh food.
Yeah, fresh food.
We use the farmers market out front on Saturdays, and yeah, I mean, like, trying to make everything just really good quality whole food really is.
And how convenient is that every Saturday there's a farmer's
It's
market
amazing.
literally out your front door.
You know, we have Wright's Farm right in front of us, and they have berries, and it's just perfect because we make smoothies, and so it's it's a cool thing that we can.
Did you envision what the clientele would be like tonight? Did you think, well, this is sort of what we see when it's all said and done and someone walks in to our cafe? Tell me about what that might have been like.
Well, we knew that this was a large business district, so we wanted to our hours kind of cater more towards them. And then I think when we started out, we had such a very diverse menu, and then now we're starting to figure out who our clientele is. We have a lot of gluten-free, a lot of vegan clientele, and we really have embellished those options. And so it's been, I mean, have we had like one certain client? So it's just really a diverse of
well, yeah,
them all.
It's a lot of business people and a lot, you know, lunch rushes and, you know, the morning's a little bit slow.
We've got the courthouse down the street,
right,
and
exactly.
some office buildings, some mortgage companies, some banks too.
Yeah.
But Uptown Kingston, this area particularly, is residential as well.
Right. Well, that's the thing, is we're trying to also cater to them. You know, we're closed on Sundays right now, which I feel really bad about, because, you know, we want the people who live here to be able to come here all the time, and, you know, we don't want to just be like, oh, sorry, we're closed on, you know, but it's only us working right now, so we need one day off, and that's our slowest day. So we're just, for now, we're gonna just do Sundays, and then when we hire someone, I think we want to open more. We want to open later on the weekends, and we have a you know, a long vision ahead of us.
There's
So
a
that's
lot.
great.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great start, a great beginning for Sissy's Cafe
Yeah.
on Wall Street in Uptown Kingston, 324 Wall Street for people who are interested in coming by. And good luck. Thanks for letting us interrupt your lunch rush as well. So as soon as we turn off the cameras, you're going to get inundated with orders. Thanks again.
Thank you.
This is Kingston Now, and in a moment we're going to walk around the corner to John Street to the Edelweiss Soap Company. Come along. Welcome back to Kingston Now. A short walk from Sissy's Cafe in Uptown Kingston is the Edelweiss Soap Company, and with me now is owner Julia Wehmeyer. Hi, Julie.
Hi.
So when did you get into soaps?
I started in 2001. I had been interested in soaps for a long time. Since I was a small child, I would take the small slivers of soap and I'd make bars of soap at home. Drove my mother crazy because I ruined so many pots and pans. I started in 2001, but I researched for about 3 years beforehand, and I decided to do goat milks, which was my first product, was goat milk soap, because no one was doing it then, and I wanted to make it fun. So I thought, lots of fragrances. So we have worked with around up to 800 fragrances at one time. Right now here in the store we have 200, but as time progressed I moved on to hemp seed oil, oatmeal, and Castile olive oil soaps.
So you started making soap not in a store like this, but at home, is that correct?
Yeah, I have a studio in my home. It's in the basement, and that's where I make it. I can't make it here on the premises because of liability. And so I make a base soap, and then I add the goodies after 6 weeks. It has to set for 6 weeks, and then I chop it up. It's a process called milling, and I do a second milling, and I chop it up, recook it, so to speak. And that's when I add the goat milk and the fragrance, or the hemp seed oil or the oatmeal, just all the little goodies then.
So you now have this store that's opened, the Edelweiss Soap Company, which the actual physical store has only been open for a couple months. Is this the first time you've had a physical property to sell your products?
To sell the soap, yes.
What did you do before? How did you get your soaps out to the world?
I did festivals. I did for about a year. I went all over the country, and I set up at APHIS locations, which are the BXs and PXs with the military. They would set up carts, and I was all over. I even went to Leavenworth Prison. I was set up everywhere, Washington, D.C., Oklahoma City, and then I decided to settle. My daughter was going to Columbia, and I wanted to come back east. I went to college in Boston. I wanted to come back east. I fell in love with the Hudson Valley. What can I say? It's Kingston. It's gorgeous.
And so what is it about the neighborhood that you like that made you say, this is the place I'm going to put the store?
The history.
Yeah.
I always wanted to live in a little historic area and have a little shop, and it's perfect. I live on Green Street. I walk to work. I know it's great. I walk to work, grab my coffee, bring my dog to work. It's great.
You've been a presence in the community too, almost immediately after you got here. You put out some flyers that were great, inviting people in for coffee and donuts in the morning. I know that you still put coffee and cookies out because I was eating them before the segment here. But you actually told me something really interesting about the coffee and why you have it in the store.
Well, there's two reasons. One is when you are smelling so many different fragrances, your nose can become numb, and the cookies and coffee help clear your palate, and it's just a little bit more pleasant than sniffing a coffee bean, which is what a lot of fragrance stores do. I'd rather hand you a little cup of coffee, and people enjoy it. And some of the customers too, they just like to congregate, and it's a social thing too. It's fun.
So you're open a few months now, and I know because I also live in the neighborhood and I come around, I see that you're doing a pretty brisk business to start. That must feel good.
Yes, it does. The people in Kingston have been very supportive. My third year at the farmers market, and I built up a really good following, and so the people here are amazing. They're very supportive of the people that are coming in and really trying.
Compare the soaps you make to the stuff that people buy at the supermarket.
The commercially made soaps can be pretty
like what's in
gross.
them?
Gross.
Like we know that goat milk is in yours. What's in that stuff?
They'll use, if a soap is called soap in a store, it is a soap. But a lot of times they strip a lot of the natural products out, like the glycerins. A lot of them are made with bad oils. In fact, I got an advertisement from a company in Japan not long ago wanting to sell me used food oil to make my soap, and I was like, ooh, gross. But that's a lot of them use. They'll filter it and they use old oils, a lot of petroleum products. My soaps are made with coconut. It's coconut base, and like I said, I remilled them, and that's when I add all the goodies.
The store is also more than just soap. What else do you have here?
I have spritzes, I have lotions, I have scrubs, we have dog shampoos, we have people shampoos, we have rubber ducks, we have accessories, robes. We're going to be bringing in little pajamas, and it's just all sorts of fun stuff.
And is all the lotions and things like that, are you making those yourself?
I make the lotions and spritzes and scrubs and shampoos and soaps.
And when do you find the time to do that?
I
Because the
don't
store is
sleep.
fully stocked. You don't sleep. That's a good answer.
No, you get down to a science, and I make big batches.
Tell me about Yes, We're Open Uptown Kingston.
That is something I started as I have been here. I've noticed that there's a lot of activity here on the weekend and in the evening. There are times that between 5 and 8 o'clock at night, I do more sales than I do all day. Kingston has so much to offer, and not just to the city, not just the people here, but to the whole area. I think we're losing a lot of revenue due to tourists coming up. I've had tourists come up here angry because there's nothing open. I'm a real firm believer we need to all get on the same page and have these stores. The stores need to be open. They need to be open on Sunday. They need to be open a couple of nights later in the week.
And how has that proposal been received by the people in the neighborhood who aren't open on Sunday?
A lot of the merchants aren't, they'll give me a lot of excuses, but I get a lot of feedback from people who really want to see this. And it's a problem. It's not something that's going to be fixed overnight. I firmly believe people need to make a commitment, first of all, to post their hours on their door. Probably 70% of the stores here don't have their hours posted on the door. That's very customer unfriendly. They need to do that, and they need to be open on Sunday.
One last question. What was the most popular fragrance at Leavenworth?
I really don't remember. It was probably a patchouli or a lavender.
And what is your most popular fragrance here in the store?
Lavender always sells.
Always lavender.
Lavender, yeah. And lavender is the top one. Yeah.
Julia Wehmeyer, Edelweiss Soap Company, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to take the jacket off, put some short sleeves and shirts on, head down to the Rondout Creek for a day away kayak rentals. We're going to head out to the water. Stay tuned. You're watching Kingston Now, and what better place to be on a beautiful summer day than on the water here on the Rondout Creek, and what better way to be in the water than in a kayak. And with me now is Jesse Hicks, the owner of A Day Away Kayak Rental. Hey Jesse.
How you doing?
So you are the fourth generation in the long line of Roberti folks to set up your business here on the Rondout Creek. Your family started this marina. You've got, what, 1, 2, 3 marinas up and down the creek now?
Yes, we originally started with Marina 1. My great-grandparents built and lived in that brick house just behind you. And from there on, it started from 5 docks to 10 docks to 20 docks to what you see today.
So you basically grew up in this location?
Yes, born and raised.
Tell me where the idea for A Day Away Kayak Rental came from.
It had a lot to do with the economy. A lot of it started when I was 14. I always boated my entire life. I was always on jet skis, always on regular motorboats. And I used to look at kayakers like, get a boat, you know what I mean? And So finally I decided, I was like, you know what, it looks interesting. Gas is $4, nobody's gonna go, so why not try it? And I just fell in love.
It's an extraordinary way to see the water from a kayak. When you're in a kayak, you're only about 6 or 8 inches above the surface of the water, and it's pretty much as close as you can be to, you know, on the water without actually being in the water.
Yeah, without being a fish.
Without being a fish or an aquatic bird, for instance. Yeah. So the Rondout Creek is just a great place too to paddle as well. Tell me what makes it special for people who come here and rent a kayak.
Well, I'm conveniently located right here, as you can see, right on the Rondout. There's no hassle of getting in or out of the kayak, no trailering your own car or your own kayak on your car. We launch everything, we take care of everything, we clean everything. So we offer a more convenient ride or paddle than most other places do. And it's conveniently located behind some beautiful terrain as well. You have the Eddyville Bridge with the waterfall right underneath it. You have Goumere Island diagonal from here. And a day away is very cheap. It's only $50. You can go to the lighthouse and back in 4. So it's very nice.
It's $50 for a full day rental, but you also do hourly rentals too, right?
Yes. For the initial hour, it's $20 for a single. And every hour after that, it's $10. Or if you decide to take a tandem out or a 2-person kayak, it's $30 for the initial hour, $15 an hour after that, or $75 for the day.
Now, people who are watching this might be thinking, well, I've never kayaked before. What kind of experience level are we talking about?
You don't even have to ever have been in a boat your entire life to kayak in these. They're recreational boats. They're about 10 foot 4 inch, 10 foot 6 inch boat size. The cockpits are wide for anybody, any age, any size, any shape, any color, any origin. Anybody can kayak.
So they're a fairly stable boat.
Yes.
You provide PFD, personal flotation devices,
yep,
right?
We provide everything: paddles, PFD, rope, kayak, and a good time.
Now, the Rondout Creek as a body of water is attached to the Hudson River. Is it affected by the currents and tides as well?
Yes. The only difference between the Rondout Creek and most lakes is that we do have a little bit of a tide. It does run north. If you do decide to take your kayak out, I do suggest highly that when you go out, the drag will bring you a little bit north. So kind of start a little bit south by the bridge for a nice day.
What do people see when they're on the creek? I've seen, for instance, I noticed that someone posted on your Facebook page that they saw a great heron, which is an extraordinary bird to see in the wild. What else are people talking about?
You see a lot of things. You see catfish. If you go in between the islands, you actually see live catfish a few inches from your boat feeding. I've seen beautiful birds. I've seen bald eagles. There's bald eagle sightings right on this ridge, right down to both marinas. And you also see different types of ships at Feeney's Barge down the stream. It's very nice. A lot of nice things around here.
So the business is open. Your first season here. How are you getting the word out besides us?
I have had a lot of hits on Facebook, reviewing websites like Yelp, Angie's List, TripAdvisor. I also just purchased these little cards. They're called little club cards. They have a QR, quick response code, where you can scan and it'll instantly bring you to my website. It's really cool technology.
So who are you looking for as the bulk of your business? Are you hoping it's locals? Are you hoping it's out-of-towners?
Well, the main purpose for this business was to really bring tourism. I really wanted to bring tourism back to the Kingston area to boost the economy. So what better way than get some people to go kayaking, right?
And how about the rest of the business, the marina? Is that bringing people from other places? Sometimes you see boats pull into the docks here, and they're from, you know, some far away place.
Our dock slips are usually rented to locals. However, we do get some transient or night slips from people from all over the place. We've had people from Key West, from the Caribbean, to Maryland, to Canada, from California. We have everybody.
Last night on Facebook, I noticed that you posted a picture of the moon reflecting off the creek.
So beautiful.
Yeah. And you posted, your comment was with a question mark, moonlight paddles. Is that something you're thinking of?
I'm definitely, let's just say it's in the near future. It was so romantic to the point where any couple or any person who really appreciates the landscape and the beautiful sights of the natural surroundings around them would love to see what I saw last night.
So far, the summer season started off with a bang. It's been nice and hot, great weather to be out on the water. How long do you think the season's going to run for you?
Well, we've definitely had different weather patterns. If you've obviously noticed, Hurricane Irene definitely hit us all by surprise.
But you don't want to be on the creek if that happens again.
No.
Yeah.
But as weather goes, I think you'll be seeing us through hopefully October.
And you yourself, now that you're in a kayak and you're in the business, have you given up the jet ski?
No, I will not. I will never give up boating. I'll never give up jet skiing. But kayaking has definitely found a place in my heart.
And have you tried to expand your kayaking skills? Maybe get into a more advanced boat at all?
I have. I actually went to the Kingston Kayak Festival, hosted by Kenko, at the Kingston Kayak Festival down on the
point. Yeah,
yep,
sure.
Point. It was a really good experience. I tried a lot of boats. It was a good experience to see the kind of boats I can possibly invest to in the future, and Yeah, it was good. I look forward to it.
Now, I have to say to folks watching that you had plans today to be somewhere else. You were going to take your girlfriend up to for a nice romantic
Lake George,
Lake George away, but you put that off instead to do this interview. So we're going to give you a chance to say happy birthday to your girlfriend.
Well, I actually stand right behind you. Happy birthday, Liv.
That's it for this week's show. Thanks to Sissy's Cafe, 324 Wall Street in Uptown Kingston. Thanks to the Edelweiss Soap Company, 38.5 John Street in Uptown Kingston. And here at Lou's Boat Basin on Abeal Street on the Rondout Creek. And A Day Away Kayak Rental. Thanks to Jesse Hicks for joining us. All three places are available. You find out about them on Facebook. All our shows are archived now on YouTube, and you can find that link on our Facebook page. And if you've got an idea for a show, post it on our Facebook page too. For Kingston Now, I'm Jimmy Buff. We'll see you next time.